So we have a JSON object, and now I will show you how to access to the data. Okay, how to access to the data of this object, because we will need to know how to access JSON data, or not need, but will help us a lot to understand this concept of how to access data of a JSON object when we are doing working with nodes, right? So I'll create another file, index.js, and I'll type some code now. Okay, I'll pause the video. Okay, I'm doing now JavaScript here, and I don't want to get very deep into this because it's not the purpose of the course, but basically I created a new file, okay? And from this file, I imported the JSON object. Here we have it, right? And then I'm just logging the JSON object in the terminal. And here in the terminal is this thing that you have below. I have, if I execute this file, I execute it like this, node, execute index, and this is the object. You see, Pedro, Nieto, age, teacher, okay? This is the object, so it's being logged, right? What do I want you to do now? I want to, how to get to the name, okay? This is a comment. JavaScript comment. In case you want to know JavaScript, the same, do another video, another tutorials, because I'm not, this is not really the focus of this course, right? Like I will basically focus only on the strictly necessary. How to get the name? Name is equal to JSON object, and in order to access to a property, we use the dot, okay? When I put the dot, I'm viewing all the properties that are defined inside that JSON object. Age, name, student, surname, and teacher. What do I want to know? The name. So I select it here, or I write it, it doesn't matter, name. And now I will log the name. Name of teacher is name. I come here, I don't need this console log anymore, so I'll delete it. And now look at this, name of teacher is Pedro, right? Because in order to access only to a specific property of a JSON object, I need to use the dot and the name of the property, right? Great. How do we access an item in an array? Okay, so I want to get the first student. No, let's make it more difficult. The second student of my array of students, that should be Jesse. Okay, how do we do that? Const second student, it's equal to JSON object dot students, right? And now, since this is an array, the way to specify in an array which of the items I want, I need to use the square brackets. Okay, look at this carefully, square brackets, and I need to give it a number, the number that refers to the position of the element that I want to get. In this case, if I want the second element, I need to get to give the number 1. Why? Why if I want the second element, I need to pass the number 1? This is something that at the beginning it's very tricky for the programmers. This is very common, but remember that in programming, the number 0, the first item, it's the 0. The second item is the 1. The third item is the 2. So it's 0 based index. Like the 0 is the first one. So if I want to get the first, it's 0. If I want to get the second, it's 1. Why do they do it like this? Why do they make life so complicated? Well, at the beginning, I also had the same question, but then you realize that this makes sense because the first, it's in the position 0. And I guess there must be some sort of mathematical reason behind or programmatical reason, but Just remember that. If you want, you need to detract one from the element. If you want the first, remember, first yes, but starts from 0, so in reality it's 0. Okay, I want the fifth. Yeah, fifth, but in reality 0 is the first, so fifth, 5 minus 1, 4. Okay, so remember about the index. I'll log the second student is second student, node index, and look at this. I'm having the Jesse Sanchez, which is the second student. Great. Okay, now I want to get the age of the third student. Okay, not the whole object, only the age. How can I achieve this? Like this. How do we access the... Okay, what's the age of the third student? Right. Age of third student, it's equal to... I'm defining a constant, and I will put that data inside the constant, and then I log it, okay? JSON object dot students. Remember, the third one, 3 minus 1, 2, and now dot age, okay? The age of the third student is age of third student, node index 37. Let's make sure 37. Jen, it's 37. Great. This is the syntax to be able to access data inside a JSON object. It is as important to understand what a JSON object as being able to know how to access some certain data. Fortunately for us, what you saw 2 videos ago of the schema, it makes it very, very simple. With the hand and dragging and dropping, it's already doing this behind the scenes, and we will see now because now everything will start connecting. Okay, but so that you're not lost, when you see some sort of strange syntax in the screen, dots, brackets, square brackets, you're not like, oh my god, what is this? Is this Chinese? Is this, I don't understand anything. Okay, remember this: dot to access a property of an object, and square brackets to get to the position of an element in an array, right? Great. And again, if you want to practice more, go to the W3, the website that I provided you before, to practice more with this. Although you don't really need to be an expert, just to, right? I mean, practice it only if you find it strictly necessary. But you might not need to be a total expert. Just understanding what I told you here, I think, will be more or less enough.